Welcome to episode 2 of Questionable Takes. In this exciting second episode, I'm joined by AJ and Parker of Fanatix 4 and Bob from the Wulff Den. Over the course of the next hour, the four of us are going to put our heads together and come up with the dream video games console. There's a few references in the episode to a drawing or a design of the console that I was having commissioned. There have been a few delays with that, which is what's caused the delay of the episode. Rest assured, I'll get that out as soon as it is available. I just wanted to get the content out for now. So thanks once again to Ben Congleton for this excellent intro track. And without further ado, I hope you enjoy. Hello, my American friends. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Are we the American friends or the viewers the American friends?
You are the American friends. Actually,
none of the viewers are the American friends. Only us.
My stats, I'm already looking at the stats, and the American listeners are very low. In fact, I think it was only 2.
Wow.
And I know two like outside of the UK, and I'm pretty sure one of them is Duncan. So I think one of you two out of AJ and Parker didn't listen to episid 1, and
I watched it on.
Now I'm bringing it out.
I listened through
That's
YouTube.
not true. I listened on YouTube.
So,
Okay, I don't have those stats. Fair. It means there's a mystery American out there just listening to
there you go. Yeah. Isn't there always?
There is.
Always a mystery American, dude.
Let's start with some introductions.
There's a joke there, but I'm not going to.
Let's start with some introductions because there's going to be some people that maybe live under a big collective rock together who don't know who any of you guys are. So in this second exciting episode of Questionable Takes, I am joined by AJ McRae, or AJ McRae Jr., should I say, from Fanatix 4. Say hello.
Hi, hello. How you doing?
Hi, hello. I'm also joined by Parker Deal, also of Fanatix 4. Say hello, Parker.
Also, hi. Hello, Parker.
And last but not least, I'm also joined by Bob Wulff from the Wulff Den. Say hello, Bob.
Hi, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Having a happy and a healthy.
I hope you're all having a happy and healthy across the pond. Good day, mates.
Good day, mate. That was very Australian. I really hate the phrase last but not least because it implies that one of you is least.
Yeah, it does.
But like,
So,
who is
I'm
it?
taking the hint. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to dwell on it too much because I feel like we're going to get like into some real personal stuff.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah. Thanks you guys anyway for joining me on the second episode of my hit gaming podcast, Questionable Takes. Obviously, you guys were such big fans of the episode that you all listened to on YouTube that you decided to come on and have a chat with me, which is very nice of you. Before we get started, I want to sort of try something a bit different this episode to like engage the audience, give them that sort of like Leonardo DiCaprio like gotcha moment where they point at the screen. So I'm going to give each of you a catchphrase. And what I want you guys to do throughout the recording of the episode is to just use the catchphrase like whenever you think it's right to do.
Penis.
Don't start because that is yours.
Butts.
Don't start. But I'm going to award like a prize at the end to the person who I think used it the most successfully and who also showed the most restraint, not just peppering it in for fake points and cheating.
I lose that one already. Damn, I didn't know the rules. Damn it.
So, AJ, your catchphrase is, hang on, I wrote it down here. If it tastes like shit but smells like gold, it still might be gold. Can you memorize that? Can you memorize that?
Sure.
Yeah, if it tastes like shit but smells like gold, it still might be gold. There we go. So, Parker, yours is, why don't I show you what Parker is really made of? Now, it's not supposed to be as sexual as it might be coming across because of the way that I am just so inherently sexual. Use it however you want. Interpret it however you want. You know, a bit of ad-libbing. It's fun.
Why don't you give Parker the one where he curses? Make Parker curse for once.
No, I like that.
Or just make
one.
me
I like
lose, you know?
It's so aggressive.
And Bob's, yours, I think it's going to be the hardest to fit in, is, remember, one in my pocket is worth a dozen on the table. Now, I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
DM it to me. Put it in the DMs. DM all of
the
this.
DMs.
Yes.
Okay. This is where I wish I was editing the podcast because I'm going to have to very quickly just type these out. Or I just copy and paste them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now, guys, I have a
live.
terrible scheduling conflict. I accidentally scheduled Amazon Fresh to come right now. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That was lucky I'm posting this. There we go. I might have to do a slight edit then here if Amazon Fresh has turned up, because my next line is literally, let's not waste any more time. Let's get on with the show. However, let's waste some time.
Yeah.
What would you guys like to discuss in this short time with Amazon Fresh? Actually, do you know what? Let's discuss.
Let's
Amazon
talk about what
Fresh.
Bob ordered on Amazon Fresh.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's talk about Amazon Fresh, because I want to know, is this like...
Never used it. Don't even know what it is.
Yeah, is it like outside of the realms of normal people because it's like the produce is really expensive? How fresh is fresh as well?
Define normal people.
People who aren't like proper like New York hipster types with beards and like not like Tame Impala lookalikes who buy their
So I have a segue off of this already. The normal people thing. Yesterday we went to get our car washed, which we do every once in a while, but not very often. And I've wondered very often, like, what's the tier of people you have to be to have? There's a monthly membership that you can have to a car wash place. And like, I know people that are more well off than me. Are they the kinds of people that have monthly memberships to get their cars cleaned, or is it above them, or is it
how much is it?
$20 a month or something like that?
Okay, so I think it's
whenever.
less so. I think it's less so a tier person and
it's more like a car thing. Yes, exactly. If you really care about your car being a certain way, yeah, I think that's definitely a big factor in it, at least up until a certain point where you hit a certain tier where $20 a month is just so negligible that even for cars.
You just rent a car every once in a while. You'll have it.
But $20 a month, sorry, that's as many car washes as you want, right?
Yeah, as many car washes as you want.
I would have used the shit out. Oh my god. The only reason I've not, well, other than like the pandemic and then not being the funny car wash men being in the car park at the local Tesco's, the reason I don't get my car washed very often is because it's like £15, like 50.
For us, it's like $7.
That's crazy.
So at that point, like I would need to go 3 times a month for it to be worth it. And y'all know I am not going 3 times a month. Like, that is not happening.
Maybe if you use your car for your job and then it's a write-off.
Oh, that's true.
Is this like tax? Is this like American taxes? Like where you have to like keep track of your own stuff, say what you did, like get things written off? Because ours just gets done automatically.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
Yeah, like we don't pay bills. Like bills just come out every month.
I mean, that way I set all my bills to come out every month. Yeah. But as far as like things that are tax deductible or whatever, yeah, you would like keep track of all of the, an itemized receipt of like, I bought these games and they're tax deductible because I play games for a living.
You say deductible and it makes me think of like there's like a tax Sherlock Holmes. Like, I deduce. I deduce the tax.
But back to the catchphrase thing, I was gonna say it would be a lot harder if you gave Bob, "Why don't I show you what Parker's really made of?"
Oh, that's what I was saying.
Oh no.
Nevertheless.
Okay, no, we're swapping. I'm not editing this out. This is staying in because that was some really good car wash tax chat we just did there. We're swapping them.
Oh no.
Parker, your catchphrase is now, remember, one in my pocket is worth a dozen on the table. And Bob, your catchphrase is now, why don't I show you what Parker is really made of? You made that bed yourself, Parker. That's your own fault. So, as I planned to say, let's not waste any more time, which I was about to say just before Bob wasted all of our time. And let's get on with the show. Bob, you're quiet. Are you supposed to be quiet?
Hello?
Oh, no, you're back. There we go.
Now he's not.
Your laughter just gets cut out.
Hello, yes, hi. Oh, maybe I have like a noise gate or something.
Oh, yeah, cool.
If I talk like this, does it sound loud?
It sounds good. It sounds like you're right directly
beautiful,
in my ears.
great.
Directly in my ears. So, the topic of this week's episode is that with next-gen consoles coming out, and Switch Pro rumors, well, they come out. They're officially out. They happened. And Switch Pro rumors are circulating for next year. Nobody gives a shit about the hardware they have right now. They just don't care. Like PS4, trash, bin it. Switch, if there's a Pro Switch coming out, my current Switch is just a piece of garbage that I don't need anymore. So because everyone instead is talking about the hardware that they wish they had. Myself, I've been trying to get a PS5 and failing. I'm sure you guys have been successful in all of your endeavors. Screw you all. But as we know, all of the consoles have their own sort of their own issues, their own problems. There is no such thing as a perfect console until now.
The Game Gear.
no.
Game Gear Mini. Game Gear
Micro,
Mini is
yeah,
the
yeah,
perfect
for sure.
console. If it fits
So
inside your
first
anus
off, this
without any
console has
issues.
12 batteries. That's the first
I
requirement.
don't know. I mean, okay, here's the
From
thing, though.
9.
Definitely the Game Gear Micro is better than the original Game Gear because one of my pockets worth like a dozen on the table, and I can fit many in my pocket.
Oh, such a strong start. Wow.
Carry on.
We've lost Bob now. I'm sorry, man. I shit it. Oh
I
man.
hate you so much. That was mine, though.
We can swap back now that I've sucked the life out of it.
Wow. I forgot to put on my list that the console needs to fit up my anus to be like.
Of course.
But I'm not going
Oh
to do that.
no,
So-
that's where mine comes in.
Sorry, you're what? This is getting off. This is getting
His
way off.
catchphase.
My catchphrase:
I
if
hope
it tastes
so.
like shit but
I
smells
hope
like
so.
gold, it still might be gold.
Oh, this is already going out of hand. I can't
doing
believe I
great.
shouldn't have gone for the catchphrases. Anyway, we've been inspired, or I've personally been inspired by the smartest man in the world, Mr. Homer Simpson. The four of us. There was an episode of The Simpsons. For those of you who don't understand what's going on, there was an episode of The Simpsons. I think it was season 2 or 3, where Homer finds out he has a long lost brother called Herb Powell. And he goes to visit him. He's a rich man. He's Danny DeVito, and he owns a car factory who just aren't selling cars that the everyman wants. So Homer is tasked with the job of just what do you want in a car? What would you like in a car? And the joke of the episode is at the end that the resulting car is a monstrosity. It has all the bells and whistles he could ever want, but it looks like a piece of shit, and the guy goes bankrupt. So the four of us are going to put our heads together and try and outdo the genius Homer Simpson and create the most feature-packed, perfect console that does everything you could ever want a video game device to do, no matter what the cost. And I don't just mean the monetary cost, I mean sort of like sanity or morals or breaking the Geneva Convention. Who knows what's going to happen? So I've sort of split this up into a few sections. I mean, first of all, what do you guys think of of what we're doing here? Are you guys ready for this?
I think it's garbage. I think we should do something else.
I don't think I've ever,
Kidding.
never in my life have I talked about what I wanted out of video games. Not until-
That's true. That's true. You guys are all off doing why these video game console is perfect content. I'm here to just flip it round. So the first sort of thing I want to do is talk about what problems do you have with the consoles you currently have. You know, what would you want from a console, and then from there we're gonna work on what we can do to fix it, what the solution is going to be for that problem. Let's start with console. We'll do controller later. We'll jump in a little bit later with the perfect controller. Let's start with, I don't know, Parker. Name something that you think is a problem with a console and what you think would be a good solution. We can all chime in with solutions as well.
Yeah, I mean, this touches a little bit on the controller side already, but
Well, then don't say it. Don't say it, Parker. It's very clear. It was very clear. It was literally one rule.
No, too late. I broke it already. No, but it's just like for the Switch, taking that as an example, handheld by itself is not very comfortable. So like that, again, it's a little bit controller related, obviously, but it's also just like console related and all that kind of stuff. So I think comfort factor when it's handheld is
Okay.
is
Oh
an
no,
issue.
Bob's about to do an ad.
So
Satisfying.
Why don't I show you what Parker is really made of?
Okay. Yeah.
You did
This is
it.
what Parker wants.
He
It
did
is perfect.
What is this?
right
So
here.
you're doing here? Plug it for me.
This is a Satisfy grip.
Okay.
It's a little
Satisfy if you're
gaming
listening.
grip for either Switch or Switch Lite or what have you.
Okay.
So that's what he
So,
wants. He
okay,
wants
so-
a little bit of ergonomics in his Switch gaming.
So in our perfect console, we're saying 1, it has to be a hybrid. It has to do like the Switch does, right?
Yeah.
We're saying 2, it needs accessories to be comfortable, or is it built with comfort in mind originally? Are we doing like
Built with comfort in mind.
built with comfort in mind? So we're already sort of taking the idea of the Switch plus a Satisfy grip, and that's the general shape of the handheld, right? Because I'm going to be drawing this. I should have said at the top. I said to you guys, Bob, I'm going to be hiring my friend who is a professional designer to design this console for us when it's done.
Oh.
And we're going to see what it looks like, and we're going to see just how like horrendous we possibly.
Oh, I'm gonna make it hard for them.
That's what we like. So already we've got so it has to be a handheld and it has to be the perfect ergonomic shape. Are you saying it's entirely handheld, like the Switch Lite?
No, I mean, like in my mind, I'm going off of the Switch, and it needs to have the switching capabilities between, that being the hybrid and stuff. But when it's handheld, it just has to be more comfortable. So,
okay,
that kind of thing.
Good start. Okay, AJ, anything to what's your perfect console? And this has to be one console, by the way, so you have to iterate on that. You can't just say it's not a handheld; it's one console.
This is all one collaborative effort. There's not 4 consoles. Okay.
It's yes and. It's yes and.
And we have to fit all of the things we say into this one console.
So the problem I have with Switch is that it's not Xbox Series X, and the fact that it doesn't have quick resume. Give me that. I want that.
On my
I want
list
to be able to like play 18 games on the one console without having to close any of it.
Okay. So you never want to close a console?
I never want to close it ever, not a single time. I want every game I ever open to always be open.
So what would be the solution to that? Is that going to be like
a terabyte of RAM?
Yeah, just the biggest block of like super cooled RAM.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. But so are you saying like you have one disc in at a time, or is it got like one of those like old car style discs?
Where do you think I am? Where do you think I am?
You gotta have discs. Okay. So let me jump in then. If you're going to say that, this console for me, the issue with a console is that it doesn't play everything. Your PS4 doesn't play your Xbox games, doesn't play your PS2 games, doesn't play your SNES games. So this console is going to have to play everything.
That's going to make it look horrible already. We're already there. We achieved it.
It's going to play your Atari Lynx. It's going to play your Game Gear games.
Well, let me show you what Max is really made of. We have the Retro Pi here.
Well, there we go. However, why have you just got the hardware? Why are you have the perfect console?
Everything's just within my reach right now.
I thought
New York living. There it is.
We have the Game Gear Micro.
So, but I'm not saying digitally. I'm saying like there has to be a slot. I need to be able to walk into a shop, a charity shop, or a thrift shop. What do we call those? I can't remember now.
Thrift store?
No. In America, we don't use the word thrift. We use a different word.
A lift? Oh, never mind.
It's a lift store.
It's because it's copyrighted by America. They're not allowed to say thrift anymore.
Yeah, we never use the word. So I want to be able to walk in, pick up a game from like a retro game store, pop it in the console, and it just works. So this needs to have like all of the slots.
So here's the question: workshopping that. If it doesn't have, so I'm thinking handheld again, and like if it's going to translate that way, which it needs to, because yes and. Could it have an adapter kind of thing to where like
here's the thing. I got it. Okay, so this is a hybrid, right? It's a hybrid. Yeah. So on the dock, there's like a module to rip ROMs off of any console. So you can do it like that.
That's a good
that way. You're not a dirty criminal.
The Polymega has that, so it's basically just Polymega.
Where is it?
A dock.
The what? Talk me through this, because I've never heard of this.
Polymega. It's a console. I don't think it's out yet. It's an emulation device. It's a home console, but it has different modules that you slot in that have cartridge slots for. So you can have like a Sega Genesis module and a like a Super Nintendo module. So, but this one would have all of the modules already.
Yeah. But now the question is, do you swap them out, or are they just built into the side of this thing? Like.
I mean, if we wanted to look hideous, then all of them. Every single one's just always.
If we're going Homer Simpson, then it has every slot for every generation ever.
Cool. Okay, this is already just like an absolute train wreck, which is exactly what I was hoping for. So, Bob, what we've all said what we want to start with. What's one dream feature that you would like?
So, when I was thinking about this, originally thought it was going to be each one of us doing one. I was going to say it should be 2 consoles.
Oh, okay.
Because I like having my, Xbox Series X. I like having the new power of the new generation for when I'm home. But it would be nice to have a way to slot something like a Switch Lite into it so that then I could take it out and have a less powerful gaming experience. How everybody always wants everybody always wants a 4K dock, someone with like a GPU in it that'll make the Switch like a lot more powerful. No, the home console is the power, and then you have your little dinky thing for when you're running around and you want the 720p gameplay.
I mean, we can still do that.
I have an idea. Yeah. Like, you remember tape decks?
The dock right now is already massive because of the whole module thing.
Yeah.
So
you remember tape decks where like it would open up, you put the tape in, and you push it down.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's just that? You open it up, you slide your handheld bit in there, you close it so it's not like invisible or unsightly, but then you have the option of just hitting the button and it goes and injects it out. What if you just tape deck a handheld console inside it?
It has to shoot it out violently, though.
Like a toaster. It's like literally a toaster.
Yes.
You push it down, and then when you want to do it, it goes and pops up.
And then it has to be made out of whatever the original Game Boy is made out of. Like, I want to be able to throw a freaking bomb at this thing, and it's fine.
Nintendium. Yeah. Okay. So it has to be
Nintendium.
it has to be indestructible then, right? That's another key.
100%.
Okay. So what we're saying is no drift. It can't have any drift.
True.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I have another one. I don't know if you guys want to jump in first, but no, I don't. We've already said it. Who else has got one?
The D-pad has to be up here.
We're not on controller yet.
We're not
not there.
We're not doing controllers yet. But when we do,
I will say, but this is console. This is within the console thing. That it interchangeable controllers or whatever. So not touching the controllers part itself, but that it should still have, like the Switch, controllers that can be, taken off.
Okay. Oh yes, it has like slots for things to go on and. Okay, cool. Okay.
So you can entirely customizable. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
So that as hideous as we make it, you can make it even more hideous yourself for the low price of $159,099.
This is our dream console, dude. They're going to pay us $12 to play this console.
It has to come with the little Joy-Con slots that for every console that is also a
PlayStation
module.
Joy-Cons. Yes. Joy-Cons. Wicked. Okay. We are delving into controller there, but
Imagine
I do like that enough to allow.
Just like the original what's it called? The Dual Shock or whatever.
Yeah.
Split in half, just coming out of the side of the Switch, like only that big on the Switch, that ugly, and I love it.
That sounds good. Okay, so like, if we're saying this is like a handheld hybrid combination, but it's still got the sort of modular stuff to it, what are we talking in terms of the specs of the handheld? Are we talking what's the screen we're looking at right now?
I want the screen to be 16K.
Okay, yeah, I can go for that. Like that exists. I'm sure that exists. You just get
100%, dude. It just
4K screen.
It just would normally cost $1 trillion, but we're getting paid for it.
Right, $12 each.
How big is this screen?
That's a good question.
6.9 inches.
Like,
you want like an iPad Pro?
I would want this to be slightly bigger. I would want this to fill the bezel.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So what is that?
Like 8 inches?
Yeah.
It's like 8 inches.
Yeah, I think the Switch, like as it is, the basic Switch is like the perfect place to start. Apart from with the ergonomic controllers that Parker was talking about, for the ergonomic shape of it. So
I'm gonna look up how small could you make a 4K screen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get like 4K.
I mean, there's phones. Yeah, there's phones that are.
I don't know how big a phone is, like 6 inches. I'm sure you
there's
can get 4K.
phones that are 4K. Excuse me.
Yeah, the new iPhone's 4K. I'm pretty sure. The
iPhone's not 4K. It can shoot in 4K, but it's like 2K or something like that.
Well, then I know the new Samsungs, or the latest Samsungs, the most expensive ones, are definitely 4K. Which is, I think it's ridiculous to have a 4K screen on a phone. However, not on a game. Oh, that does bring up a good question, actually. If we're talking like this has got like a 4K, 8K, 16K, whatever screen, and it's running these games at these rates, and we're trying to fit it into the form factor of the Switch, what's the battery life on this thing?
It's 4 seconds.
All right, then how do we extend the battery life? What is the solution to extend the battery life? Because I'm thinking a backpack. I'm thinking a backpack. It's full of batteries.
It's solar powered. It's fully solar powered.
I was gonna say like the Game Gear battery extension. That's like bigger than the actual system. But okay, what if a backpack works?
It's lithium batteries in it, but also solar powered, also wind powered, also like any kind of materials that are around you, you can harness somehow to turn into battery life.
And the little wind power thing is by your butt.
Yeah, you know how like boosted boards have like the type of batteries where it's like when you break it recharges the battery, like that sort of thing. It does that, but you have to let when your console freaking yeets out of the dock, that's also recharging it.
Just the kinetic energy is just like the Black Panther suit. Black Panther suit, where like,
exactly.
it takes kinetic energy and turns it back into like usable energy. Okay.
You walk around with a hammer in your backpack, and you like freaking are like wailing on this thing, and people are like, "Why are you attacking your?" I'm charging it, dude. Calm down.
So this thing's actually made of like vibranium, then? Like, is that?
Of course.
Nintendium.
Nintendium.
That's the one. Yep.
You remember?
This will be the only console that Bob will not get yelled at for treating the way that he does videos.
I'm actually surprised. I dropped 3 switches at EGX last year, taking them out of docks to plug in a thing, and none of them broke. So I'm pretty impressed with, because my switch just broke first drop. Like the Joy-Cons.
wow.
Really?
I dropped it once on my carpet from like 2 feet. Joy-Cons pinged off, never held on again properly.
Oh man,
I've
dropped mine a couple of times for sure. Yeah,
we are also like closer to the center of the Earth. It's denser over here.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
We can't jump as high as well. It's quite tough. We're all moving in slow motion.
I knew that part.
Yeah, right.
So we're sticking with the backpack, right? I should be writing this down, really, because otherwise I don't want to listen to it back. That sounds awful. I should be writing all this down. So it's a backpack, charging. So it's got like all the batteries, but also it's not just the you don't have to plug the backpack in. The backpack charges itself from, I think Bob said, farts.
Well, no, I just said the wind powered part would be by your butt. I didn't say that's up to the user. Okay.
I like having an option. So it's wind powered. I'm gonna write this down. Wind powered. It's solar powered. Did we say kinetic powered somehow?
Yeah.
Are we going coal powered? Do you reckon we should put like a coal?
Sure. Yeah.
Furnace in this, but at what point do we? I know that this is going to sound stupid, but at what point are we getting beyond the realms of realism?
Way far ago.
Coal powered. This is like some Jimmy Neutron shit, man. Like,
I guess the idea is just the coal could produce steam or whatever, and then that just does the same as the wind turbine.
Isn't that exactly how coal energy works?
It is. That's how it works. We all know.
Okay, so I mean that's the battery and did you find out the smallest 4K screen, Bob?
No, I gave up right when AJ said that phones.
The phones.
I just put all my faith in him.
As well you should.
The screen has to be 4K, 120 hertz.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
144, dude. So we can make fun of all the people that have consoles that we don't.
120 overclocks to 144 hertz.
Nice.
How are we cooling this? Also, does it matter?
Farts, probably.
You know a lot more about farts than I do. I was not aware of their cooling properties.
We're doing the research. We're doing the research over here. That's a good question, actually. Are we going to have like a liquid cooling solution?
This thing will be able to cook an egg on the back of it.
So does it have like a protective
feature.
Does it have? We need like protective gloves to wield it, then surely, because otherwise it's just going to melt through our fingers.
No, the grips will be big enough.
Nice. Okay.
But if you don't want to use the grips and you use a different controller that doesn't have them or whatever, you got the freaking like Super Nintendo gloves, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the power gloves.
Two power gloves.
I mean, I'm not going to go there, but if we're being honest, it's later than the year 2015. So really using your hands in games is for babies, as we all know anyway. So,
as Elijah Wood very well said.
I know it is. That's so fun to me.
Crazy.
Back to the Future joke, everybody.
As a reference. As a nice reference for everyone. As we all know, references are funnier than jokes. So, Parker raises a good point though when he says about having, or whoever said, 2 power gloves. I'm thinking VR. Whoever said,
oh yeah,
I'm thinking VR, right?
At least VR compatible, yeah.
Yeah, how are we going to implement VR into this thing? Is it going to be you just plug a headset in? Is it going to be built into it somehow?
It's a chip in your brain.
Okay, that's actually yes. Yeah, that's it.
Just go straight through the retinas, like directly to your brain.
Directly
so, like,
to you,
like,
you know?
Directly to you. This sounds horrifying. You're just like plugged in, chipped in. I mean, it sounds pretty sick, actually.
Well, you know the Labo VR. Everybody thought that, Nintendo was going to have a thing where you could slot the Switch. I mean, this thing it still has kind of Joy-Con rails. And it's going to be 4K, 144 hertz. So you could just do that, or you could have a chip in the brain. So maybe just chip in the brain.
Oh, I think it's not going to be as interesting to draw.
That would be for the Pro model. The chip in the brain would be the Pro model.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to get like the full 120 FPS in the brain. you need to get the chip. Otherwise, you just get like 60 per eye. I'm assuming that's how screens work. So you just split them in half, right?
No, it's 144 hertz, so 144 per eye.
That's not. No.
Of course, it's not.
How eyes work, AJ.
It just flickers back and forth between the two.
Just all of them in one eye. That's it.
What about bells and whistles? So we have like the main features. We have that this is obviously going to be obviously it's going to be like a powerful console. We're expecting like a.
You want a whistle on this thing?
Well, yeah, not literally a whistle. We're not literally going to be like. Or like
that's the startup sound. Is a whistle.
You have to
Like
blow
a
into the
steam
whistle to
whistle.
start the thing up.
What are we saying in terms of like extra features like cup holders? Obviously not cup holders. I mean cup holders.
Why not?
Cup holders.
So here's the thing.
On the backpack.
If that's true. If we're going off the Homer Simpson thing, we got to throw in at least the little bobble on the end of it to be able to tell it apart in the parking lot.
Yep.
You know that.
Yeah.
So a little.
So like it's got like a.
It's got a little antenna because it's got 5G. Oh, it's got 5G by the way.
Nice.
So and on the antenna.
Yeah,
exactly. On the antenna, there's a little snowman bobble.
Okay. Yeah.
Why can't it be Bob? Let it be Bob.
That's true.
A Bob snowman.
A Bob bobble. A Bob bobble. Okay, I'm gonna send my designer a picture of Bob to work off of for the coffee.
Screenshot this.
Wait, hold still. Nice. I get back a picture of Woody or Wood, whatever his name is.
Oh, you mother.
I'm really pissed off if I get that back.
Woody.
I want you to call him Woody. I want, and whatever stream that it happens in, for the first thing that you call him to be Woody.
Woody. Like a cowboy. Bloody hell. So far, okay, so like I'm just going to make a connection between 2 points because I'm already solving a problem in my head with my special mind. We've got this backpack that's full of batteries that's charging the console. What if that backpack was the console? And then it's always portable, and then you never have to download things to it. You've always got the full power of the console at all times. Because it's a backpack, like those backpacks.
And then the handheld itself is just a display then, at that point.
Yeah. But it still obviously sits down on the TV and plugs into a display like normal. Are we liking that, or are we vetoing that? That's because that's just what's in my head right now. It's got
How
straps.
heavy is the backpack? That's the only question.
It's heavy as how heavy is the PS5, Bob? Did you get a PS5?
The PS5 is like
Two
for
times.
small children. It's very heavy.
Four small children in like
it
a
on my
trench
back.
coat. Like they're
Okay,
trying
so
to
it'll be
get
2.5 small children. We gotta improve here.
It's got to be. So it's got to be the weight of 2 small children.
If this thing is going to have all of the cartridge slots for all of the systems ever created, and also ways to power it, every means of power possible, then this backpack is going to be like a Death Stranding backpack.
Wait, hang on. It's not a backpack. It's the Homer Simpson car.
You just drive. You can drive. Oh god! Have you guys seen Parker? Have you seen the episode of 30 Rock where they're trying to design the perfect microwave?
No.
And there's like they're all sitting down. You get a bunch of guys together, they're all sitting down trying to come up with the perfect microwave, and they're like, it needs cup holders, it needs wheels, it needs 4 doors instead of 1 heavy door. It needs 4 smaller doors, and then they're like, we've just designed a car. We've just designed a sedan. That's not that. I think we should avoid. We should learn from that mistake and not make a car.
Indeed.
However, Death Stranding's a good idea because Death Stranding has like a hydraulic.
Yeah.
Right. To like a suitcase.
Yes.
So it's the
like
option
a
of having it
rolling
on your back,
suitcase.
or if you're like some pussy boy who can't carry 4 small children on your back, you drag it behind you.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I was gonna say with the backpack, the hydraulics thing. I wasn't thinking
That
Death
would
Stranding
be
because I don't
sick.
know, but like they have backpacks that do that, like bounce around and stuff.
They do, yeah, but that sounds horrible. You also, what if your fans are going and you're trying to charge and you're trying to play games
And it's trying to read a
bobbing
disc.
up and down? Yeah, exactly. What if you did? You don't want to ruin all your discs. They will skip.
It'll have stabilizing. That's a feature
Yeah.
that exists.
Stabilizers. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I like this a lot. It's got wheels. It's a backpack. It's a console. And it's a
Okay,
handheld.
but here's the thing though. At this point, it also is getting ugly, and like we know that that's kind of the point. But it is also like are good looks an important feature? Like you could take it out of the backpack, put it on.
Just for the monitor part of it, like the portable thing, like that's what it's going to be like the Wii U, like how pretty much all the marketing was just the tablet, and people are like, "There's no console for this thing; it's just an accessory." That's what this is going to be. It's just going to be the screen,
super slick, like Wii, like gamepad, like Switch Pro. That's like really ergonomic and nice, and then just this shit heap backpack that looks like
that we don't even mention in the marketing at all. Not a single.
It looks like one of those like Matrix style slums where everyone's just like piled on top of each other and living together, but it's just a console. Okay, I like this a lot. So now we've obviously decided what the console is going to look like. It sounds great. It sounds like it's going to play all my games. It sounds like I'm going to be able to get the most performance I want out of it. How am I going to interact with this console? What's the controller going to look like?
The controller has to be modular, period.
Yeah, that's the only thing I write down. But I also write down another thing. That's a lie. So it's modular, but not in just that you can, like Bob was saying, swap the bits around. You were going to say that you would have it so that the D-pad was where the stick is, right?
Yes, yeah.
Were you saying that's permanent, or can you choose that yourself?
I was saying that's permanent, but there does exist things where you can swap them out.
This is where Bob reaches under the table and pulls out.
I don't have it because it's dumb.
It is dumb. However, it's good when we do it, right? We're going to make it better.
Yeah, we'll make
so
it
I think modular is the way forward. I'm also thinking that
because if you're going to play every game on this thing, like there's games that wouldn't feel good with certain like configurations of buttons and analog sticks and D-pads and whatnot.
And I was gonna say, maybe like around the D-pad, there's like a circle that you can like pop out and pop it into whatever. But that's too much human work. You need to be able to be lazy. So instead, they're on tracks that you can just like change the configuration and go and they swap just like that.
I'd love it if it does it. So it's pretty beefy. This thing is pretty thick.
A little bit, but.
Okay. No, it's just a transformer, dude. It's just
nanotechnology. I was thinking, what if the buttons were because on each console the buttons are in different places. You go for A and you're like, which one is A? Which one is X and Y? I don't know what's happening. What if all the buttons were little OLED screens?
No, I hate
screens.
I hate it. I hate it already.
Wait,
unless it's like the most advanced haptic feedback that we've ever seen, and it's like it feels like I'm touching a button.
No. I'm with Max. There's keyboards that they used to make that that are just. They have little OLED screens under them, so it's like a regular button.
Okay, got you.
It's just a piece of paper underneath it that says it's
I thought you were just saying like it was like a touch screen or something like that.
No. So these are just the face buttons though, like that, like a Y, X, A, and B, so that they can swap out depending on what they want to be.
Yeah. I don't know how it would work if you wanted like a GameCube style thing.
Well, then you'd have to actually pick them out and move them around. Yeah. So I
just saw what you said.
Our thing. This is the Astro for the viewers at home who are listening. This is the Astro Gaming C40, where you can move the D-pad and the analog stick. It is very big and very stupid, and it's also like
this.
Oh, this one is $380 because I guess they stopped making it.
My God,
it was $200 when I was. Looking at it.
This podcast was a complete waste of time because this is the.
They already did it.
They did it.
This is the Homer of controllers. Wow. What was the name of that, Bob? So people can Google it in their own time.
Astro Gaming C40 for the PlayStation 4.
Wow, that is shocking. What's the battery life on that thing?
It's probably fine, to be honest. The problem
for a
is
PlayStation controller, probably.
True.
Yeah. It lasts when it's not plugged in. You can actually play it wirelessly.
The thing, it's just like, how many times are you going to want to swap that D-pad and thumbstick? Like, you're just going to do it once and then leave it forever.
And I'm sure there's a
controller. I think it depends on the person.
That.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's, like, obviously there's people that play, like, mostly similar types of games. Like, you mostly play platformers and shooters because Call of Duty. But, like, if there's people that, like, swap the different type of games they're playing all the time, calls for different types of controllers.
Yeah, but that small of a change, you're just gonna leave it. There's no way you're gonna be like, I feel like playing Call of Duty today. Let me just.
But you use entirely different controllers for that exact reason. You're like, for you on your freaking exclamation point controllers, you got different lists for the controllers you're using on Switch and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but this is how easy it is for me to use a different controller. I'm using this controller today. I don't have to freaking take out my little iFixit screwdriver kit. Yeah.
Who said it needs to be a screwdriver?
Well, this one is. The Dream one doesn't. The Dream one doesn't. The Dream one just. Did you guys ever play? What's the Star Fox? The shitty Star Fox game they did, but it wasn't actually Star Fox. But it had Star Fox characters.
Yeah,
in
it.
Star Fox Adventures.
Terrible Star Fox games.
You're talking about
Starfield.
Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Starlink. And you could pop the little bits out. It had like the little computer chips that read. What if it's just that? You don't need to get your screws out. You don't have to like start fiddling with things. You just go, and then you back in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you just plug and play.
Yeah. So what's the base for this controller? What are we saying is like, obviously it's modular, but what is the base of the controller? What controller are we using as the hub?
I mean, I think there's
Xbox controller.
Yeah, there's a pretty standard, like the Xbox and Pro controller and stuff. Like they might not be exactly the same, but it's like, roughly similar ideas, I'd say. So something like that.
The Pro controller is just basically like a lower quality Xbox controller in terms of like build quality.
I don't know, man, because this is the how much did this cost? £130, £140 Xbox Elite controller. It's just falling. Wait, where's my webcam? Falling apart. Look at these, okay, you can't see it, but look at it. It's just like peeling apart, and I can feel it in my hands. However, Pro controller.
Do you sweat?
Yeah, but
solid as a block.
Yeah, but I more so mean like the feel of it. Like the Pro controller feels cheaper than the Xbox controller.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I can go for that. Did you just say sweat a second ago, Bob?
Yeah, I distinctly remember. Battery acid?
No, actually, I don't. I spit battery acid from my glands, like we all do.
Farted out.
Yeah. But no, I don't. But you said sweat. It just reminded me of a video of yours from, was it last year or 2 years ago? The GameCube controller that had the fans built into it.
Oh yes.
Are we having fans?
Oh
in this
yes. Oh yes.
Because if there's one person that's built and used every controller that has ever been used, it's you, Bob. So you know all of the best features. You know all of the bells and whistles.
This is the Nyko Airflow.
Here we go.
GameCube controller. You want that? So it's got the little it's got holes in the grips and like little what looks like vents, and they're like rubberized, and it has a giant fan in the back of it. So that could cool the console. Because there were concerns about cooling, even though I wanted to be able to cook an egg on the back, but that's okay.
I mean, you could do that too. Just turn the cooling off. There you go.
True. Yeah. Or reverse it and it blows heat out.
Yeah.
So it's like an AC unit, or like can you make air conditioning units hot in US? Is that a thing you guys do?
Yes, mine. The one I have flips. It does heating and cooling.
There we go. We're reversing the polarity. Let's do it.
So here you go. This is the Nyko Airflow controller. It's got holes on the top too. I got salty, sweaty hands, so I'm gonna need something like that for all my gaming, especially if I'm carrying around a giant thing on my back.
Yeah.
That's true, because you're gonna have we need to have fans in the back, otherwise you're gonna peel it off yourself when you get to your destination, right?
I just had a thought, by the way. So one of the benefits, especially in these COVID times and stuff, one of the benefits of the Switch being portable isn't bringing it to wherever, but it's like bringing it to the other room and stuff. Are we saying every time you want to bring it to the bathroom, you're hauling this big old backpack to the bathroom?
Nah, man.
I mean,
it's
drag it in
shit.
Nah, it's like the gamepad where it's from a certain distance.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It has wireless, but you can only go 10 feet.
Yeah, and it will only last a couple of hours, like the Switch does, I guess.
You get as long as it takes to take a dump. That's how long you get to be away, to be unplugged from the backpack.
When you first buy it, you get to set how long will it take you specifically to take a dump, and then it'll.
I'm just imagining Parker being okay, Ashley. Time to go for a dump. If you need me, you know where I'll be. It's do you have that picture of have you seen the picture of the kid strapped into the toilet harness? I'm going to Google I really hope that I see
Only the one picture you found.
Oh, this old. Okay, no, I found a picture of an old lady just carrying a dump truck around with her, but that's not what I'm looking for.
She's got a big old ass. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, she's like in a. Yeah, man. I'm talking like elderly woman, but I'm not going to send you that. I'm going to send you the picture of the toilet harness kid. Come on. Oh yeah.
Second screen experience.
Here we go. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna share this with you all. I mean, just Google, not you guys listening. I mean, the guys listening.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to say. Google toilet harness kid, and you'll see this like evil-looking motherfucker. He looks like he's about to take over the world. Send. There you go. This is how you play video games.
That looks like a Game Boy accessory. The colors that it is.
It does.
Like that folds into like the suitcase.
Why is he so evil?
He's just got like I've just taken over the world look to him. Like he's strapped into his time machine. He's completed his objective. He's about to go back and stop the hero from ever being born.
That is the weapon to surpass Metal Gear, and he knows it.
Now, in a more perfect world than the world we're creating, the console would look exactly like that, right?
And right, of course, yeah.
However,
with the antenna with the bubble.
With the antenna with the pop bubble, yeah. Wow, that's just this has been so exciting.
That kid has a squatty potty. Wow.
What's a squatty potty?
Oh, you haven't been enlightened by the squatty potty. It's a freaking little platform. Do you see the purple thing up by his feet?
Oh, it's so that you're in the optimum position, like knees above the
optimum position. Yes.
Get a good rock going. That's how you reach.
Yeah, but the rest of it defeats the purpose. He's still sitting normal anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, like
it's true. He's just
fully clothed. Also, I mean, which I'm glad for the picture, but like the context of he's using this toilet. I there's problems in his pants right now.
They must have realized afterwards. Oh no, we should have. We didn't think.
Imagine you take half an hour to strap this kid in. Take half an hour to get all the bits in. You drill it all together. You obviously
finally, my evil genius is strapped in.
And then you're like, oh, he forgot to take his clothes off. And then you undo it all again. Oh well. This is ridiculous.
It is.
So the controller, I think we're pretty set on the controller. It's modular. It cools your hands, or it heats your hands, or it's got all the different buttons. It's got OLED buttons.
So it has to be able to slot in like a Joy-Con, and then also has to be modular. All the buttons have to be modular.
It's like the PlayStation patent. Hold on, wait.
Here we go.
While you're looking that up, and I'm thinking should it do the rails like the Joy-Cons or the original design of like super strong magnets where if we do magnets, then like we can have it be kind of like the Hori gamepad, right? Is that what it's called?
Together.
But then like the split pad, but then when you take it apart, it becomes one standard controller. So just make a standard controller, cut it in half, magnet that onto the sides.
If we're doing magnets, I think I might be able to solve Bob's problem here. If we're doing magnets, could this thing not very easily become an induction cooker? Or induction hooker? No, induction cooker, like an induction hob. Surely, it's just you just flip the magnet's polarity a bunch of times and things get hot on top, right? That's how it works. That's how they work. So surely you put magnets in this thing.
We're doing too much science right now. I can't.
You're cooking an egg.
I can't do this.
You're cooking an egg and it's not even getting hot. It's just cooking an egg through the power of magnets. How does that sound?
Magnets are a terrible idea to be that close to a battery and a screen. Let's do it. I
really thought the tone threw me off there. You really pulled it back at the end.
I'm all on board.
Does anyone have anything they want to add to about the controller? Does anyone have any extra little features, extra little doohickeys they want to do?
Do we want the Z3 buttons, or not Z3, but
like the back trigger?
Yeah, like how many? Because right now we've got obviously face buttons, 2 shoulder buttons, and then sometimes back one.
So many.
Maybe add an extra back one so you can have every single finger's got a button.
Every finger has a button.
Those are the macro buttons. So under the on the opposite side of the grips, you got a button on each, just like an Elite controller.
Yep. And then add one extra one on each side. So you got 2 back there.
You want 2 paddles, like an Elite controller. Elite controllers have that too.
Oh, does it really?
So you can program them to whatever button you want, or you can make a macro so that it could just.
Gotta have a macro.
You could record your movement
clever.
and then press play.
Make
and then
your
it
Mario
just
Maker
does
2
it for you.
levels.
So it has to have a
you've
macro
always
button
wanted.
somewhere, like next to the start button or something. There's a macro
it
button.
also has to have a turbo button, like every Mad Catz controller you ever got given as a kid, right?
All right. So it has a screenshot button, a home button, a start button, a select button, a turbo button, and a macro recording button. So it has 6 buttons in the middle of the controller.
What about share? Can we have a not share as in
that's
like
a screenshot.
believing? Okay,
That's
good.
so same thing. Screenshot share button.
Perfect.
But so then let's recap. It also has to have the face buttons that are little OLED screens.
Yeah.
It has to have the swappable D-pad. All the face buttons have to be swappable. The D-pad, the 2 analog sticks also have to be swappable.
Yep.
So the buttons are swappable, the D-pad's swappable, and the analog sticks are swappable. And it has to have grips, and it has to all be able to slot in like Joy-Cons.
I thought of one last
thing that I can find to that patent.
I thought of one last thing, and what about the fact that Joy-Con controllers can be their own controllers, that you can like split them up, split the joy and all that? So can these pro controller looking controllers, somehow you can finagle it and make it, it'll work. I don't know how.
Individually, it's totally fine.
What's good about how like the sticks are on the Xbox controller as well is that no matter what way you have it, it's always going to be in the same position, unlike on the Pro controller where it's like
it's modular, so you can always swap the thumbstick and the buttons
true.
or whatever. So
AJ, I'm watching what you just put in. I mean, not like watching, but
and the patent specifically had the like PlayStation Move balls on the like each side.
Okay, the controller doesn't need balls. The console could have like those novelty balls that you get like on the bottom of bike seats.
Oh, it needs that.
Okay, yeah, AJ, this is exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
This is it.
Yep.
This is the controller. How did they know that we were going to say this and then make this video 3 years ago? This is impressive. Look at the way it slips apart, like so essentially as well. Like, why do they just like? Why do 2 parts of the controller like touch each other the whole way? Why don't you just take it apart like that, man? Motion sensing. Oh, it's got to have motion controls. It's got to have all the bells and whistles, all the features.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
Right, motion controls. Does it need the big light that the PlayStation has, or are we saying that's unnecessary?
Maybe it does need the move balls on the bottom of the controller.
On the patent, it was on top of the controller.
No. There's the move balls on the bottom of the grips.
Oh yeah, on this.
So you can cup them.
Yeah.
So you can cup the
so it serves 2 purposes. One is for motion sensing, and the other is so that everybody knows that you're gaming.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because what if everyone just thinks like, oh, he's just watching a film on his controller? Whereas you have balls.
It needs to be RGB, so it needs to flicker through all of the colors of the rainbow, so everybody knows that you're a gamer.
Seconds, like not like in any kind, just like it's doing like every hue.
At which point it's just white light. I'm pretty sure.
It's just doing the whole color chart at once.
That's what I say about any white lights in my house. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. They're going through all the lights just like that. Check it out, man. Yeah.
Woo. It's crazy. That's wild.
These next level lights. Wow. This is going to be an interesting look when this is finally done. So shame we can't see it live. It's a show I'm not like. I have no talents and can't draw these things for you, like as we have.
Like a constantographer, but the artist.
That wasn't proven, AJ. I'm not a constantographer. That was all hearsay, all right? So the sort of like the third we're sort of heading towards the end of my my plans for this. Who knows what might happen though? Things are getting wild in here. Can we think of any sort of potential problems? Any like maybe things that might contradict each anything that might contradict each other? And can we think of any solutions to those problems?
Well, there's definitely going to be lawsuits for the cooking an egg thing, because like if people can't even like buy a coffee from McDonald's without scalding themselves.
True.
I thought you were gonna say lawsuits for cooking an egg in the same way that lawsuits the same way that companies have sued the Switch for being like, this is too similar to this, and
Right.
all these companies would be like, this is
Like
too
George Foreman grill.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
The last thing we need is George Foreman up in our grill. Hey, trying to sue us.
All of
for
his children,
eggs.
all named George, which is the true thing, by the way.
Really? He's got all these kids.
Yeah.
How many of them are there? Are there 4 of them?
There's like 5, and he has a daughter named Georgia.
Oh,
Wow. So, so hang on. So there's 5 sons or 5 children in total?
I'm looking it up.
If there
It's true. I have heard this.
Yeah.
if there are George Foremen called George Foreman, it's
That'd
going to be
so good.
amazing.
It's
I thought you were gonna say 12. I was about to say, oh no.
No. He has a lot. He has a lot of kids.
I mean, if you're the
he has 12 children, 5 sons and
What?
7 daughters. His 5 sons are George Jr., George the Third, George the Fourth, George the Fifth, which is not how those work.
Yeah.
by the way. And George the Sixth. And then his daughters, one is Georgetta. Natalia, Leola, Frida, Mitchie, Georgetta, Isabella, and Courtney.
So wait,
Not
he
even
didn't do
Georgia.
Georgia?
Dot.
He didn't do Georgia. What?
Nope, Georgetta.
Georgetta.
Wow.
Wow.
That one's his favorite daughter.
Okay. Quick segue. What are our daughters all called?
Bob.
Just Bob, not like Bobette.
No.
Just Bob.
Just Bob.
Just Bob.
Parker.
Or Steven. I like
I mean,
that
I'm
name.
pretty mad because that was mine, but I mean, my
Oh,
daughter's
you're going to
name is
name your
Bob,
daughter
so-
Bob? Rip.
Wow, thanks for that.
Parkina.
Yep.
Will.
If I was a girl, my dad was going to name me Marisol.
What?
That's what he
Your
said.
dad's a bully, man. Your dad.
Yeah, he definitely was a bully in high school.
I was very nearly named Baxter for what it's worth.
What? Are you a
so
dog?
there's
Are you a
that.
cartoon
Yeah, were you also
dog?
a
Exactly,
dog?
right? There was something else that I don't remember, but there was another one that was almost even worse. But
Mine was Tony, but my mom and my dad willed me. They were like, "You're going to be a boy," but like either way, you're named
Tony-
after
hang on, you
him.
were gonna be Tony.
With an I.
Oh yeah,
like
as in,
Tony
you are-
Braxton.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, contradiction wise,
Sorry, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Everything seems we've been on the
Yeah,
up and up this
you
whole
know,
time.
It's going to be
Probably.
nice and affordable because they're
Mhm.
going to pay us $12 to play.
Yeah.
Choking hazard. Potential choking hazard for the
Yeah.
buttons that come
True.
on.
Like, oh yeah, so I think they're like the whole unit. Oh, like you.
The backpack.
I got a backpack. You just,
Yeah, like
Oh no, actually.
Yeah.
Imagine you just get like absolutely like because if it has enough like if it's powerful enough, it's gonna like develop its own personality, right? It's gonna develop like a distaste for you as its master. So what if it does just try and shake you?
Yeah.
good.
So you're saying this thing also has an artificial
It's
intelligence?
sentient.
I'm not saying it ships with one. I'm saying it just develops one over time.
Oh, that's machine learning.
That's how
Yeah.
powerful it is.
Yeah. The singularity is happening. Like it's
This is the console that will start.
this is the one. Yeah.
How
I mean,
will
like,
we
it's-
know?
it's
What's
gonna
the
be
first
like,
sign?
When it wants to destroy the Gorgonites is when we know it's like
Yeah.
right.
Is that
Are
a
we shipping
small
with-
soldiers
I
reference?
think
It's a
so.
soldiers reference. That is a
That's
small
what I
soldiers reference.
thought.
We should definitely
God.
ship this with the chip that the guy picked. We should ship with like the when you search chips,
Mhm.
big chips, really big chips, or whatever he says. That's what we should ship. This should be powered
Listen,
by.
I don't know that much about small soldiers.
I'm just saying that like that whatever the chip is that he chooses, I don't know what the chip is. That should be what the console is powered by. It should be powered by the chip from small soldiers.
Okay.
But that then gives us the problem of potential takeover. How do we stop the takeover? What's the solution to that?
Oh, you don't. It just happens. This is a cool idea though, because then you can play multiplayer games with the
console.
it's not. So it just takes over the other controller.
But it's better than the CPU, like the normal computers. Like it's better than like a
All
level
right, so-
9 on Smash.
It's
So you
like
gotta
it's like an amiibo sort of situation where it like learns how to
Yeah.
play.
Or it becomes so smart that it gets dumb because it gets to like human level smartness, and then it's like, I don't really know. I'm gonna eat snacks.
So this thing has to have like a CPU and a GPU, but then also have this small soldiers chip, and the small
Yeah.
soldiers chip is what you'll be playing against.
Yeah.
If you want to play some multiplayer games, because I mean, a lot of Nintendo games they don't have online multiplayer, so you could just play with the system itself.
So here's another question too. Manufacturer of this, is this a first party, thing or console?
Parker, What the fuck don't you understand? This thing can play every single game that has ever been created.
I know.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's in every party machine.
So is
anything you want. Anything you want. It's on there already.
You have to get in the mindset that we're in the world that Jeff Keighley wants us to live in. That's the world that we're in.
Yeah. I should have known.
Get your head in the game, Parker.
Why don't I show you what Parker's really made of?
You can't have that one. Oh, that's a good point, actually. AJ hasn't used his catchphrase yet.
Yes, I did. I used it when you...
almost immediately. We all used them almost immediately.
Yeah. You know you can have a second run on it, right? You get more points if you can use it again. Just so.
Yeah, I've thought about it.
But it's outlined on my screen. I've been looking at it.
Just waiting, just biding your time. I should have given myself a catchphrase, really.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh, hang on. Okay. Okay. My catchphrase is "This podcast is shit." At some point during the end of this, I'm just going to pepper that.
That's easy. That's too easy. We should make one for you.
Okay, fine. You guys can decide my catchphrase.
We should do it. We should do it like the game where each person says one word and then you go to the next.
Like you're auto-correcting me. Yeah. Okay.
Some days
we
shit.
Always
together.
I think that's it. I think
that's it.
Some days we always shit together.
We always is it shit always together or always shit together? Which way was it?
Always shit together.
Sometimes we shit. I'm pretty sure it was shit always together.
I think so.
Sometimes
that sounds right.
Always together. Okay. Okay, I think I can do this. Yeah. I just need to let me write this down just so I don't forget. Because sometimes we always. I put a comma in there, and I know.
Yes, I was going to say there's some punctuation.
I put a comma in there.
Sometimes
AJ did have a go
together.
Yeah, but like if I say it with like sometimes we shit. Always together, like a really rousing speech. I'll save that. We'll save that for later.
Always together.
Together. I just raise my sword to
for Narnia.
Yeah. Let's talk quickly then before we delve into price. Also, I want to get like some.
We already talked about the price, dude.
We did talk about the price. Okay, then I'm changing gears. I'm going by what I've written, but we just jumped ahead and did better things. So we'll change things over. So let's talk about accessories. I'm talking like Kinect, the Game Boy briefcase, all the light that you put onto the top.
The Wii tennis racket. Okay.
Wii tennis racket. What accessories are we having?
I mean, we got to have all the accessories from every console ever since they can play all of them.
So it has a controller port for every console that's ever been made.
Yeah. Okay, this is exciting.
Which means all the accessories can just be nostalgia fodder because it's just like there's this controller and it's just the Wiimote, but you're like, I don't know what it is, but look how nice it looks.
Yeah, what was it? Am I thinking of a console or am I just thinking of a DVD player I used to own as a kid? On the PS2, did it not have like a little bit that you can flip down, and there was just like the weird buttons that you never needed, but they were on there anyway? Was that
you're thinking of a TV?
I'm thinking of like a TV. Yeah. Okay, that's what we want. We want like so the controllers are hidden, but you flip the little bit down, and there's just all of the ports. But there's like a gold glow on your face when you flip it down, like
the Pulp Fiction. Briefcase.
Yeah.
It's in like the front pocket of the backpack.
Or...
Like you unzip the front pocket and then you pull it down, and then it's all the ports.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's got to retain that mystery of the TV situation where it's like the silence or whatever in Doctor Who, where when you flip it down, you're like, oh, it's that, and you flip it up, and you're like, I don't even know what's under there. To be honest,
like
memory's wiped. Yes.
Okay, so if that's
Unless
the case, it needs to be the main pocket. It has to be the main pocket.
Hang on,
AJ.
I think there's been a serious misunderstanding here. Do you think this is a functional backpack? Do you think this thing has pockets?
It has to be, dude.
I don't know.
That's what it has to be.
You just look like you're wearing a shell. Like you've got to look like you're wearing a turtle shell on your back that's just made of console. Sorry. Surely, like it doesn't have. I mean, it can have zips and buttons actually.
Well, hang on. There's some accessories.
It's got to have at least one zip for. I mean, like snacks.
Yeah. Or that weird 8-bit do credit card controller that needs to go somewhere. So that's surely.
So you can pass it off to a buddy, and then the buddy can play with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your AI buddy.
AI.
Also, you got to have some accessories that are like that make it into like a Bowser shell or whatever, so that accessorize your backpack.
Right. That would be like the console. Like that's the special edition console versions.
Yeah.
Like
there it is.
Yeah. That's.
It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea. Okay, so then we'll talk to accessories. Let's finish by adding a lick of paint to this thing. You know, the Homer car wasn't just an excellent piece of craftsmanship and engineering. It also had, you know, the best design. It had spoilers. It had the I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to.
Racing stripes.
Yeah, it had all the bits. The
and
antenna,
stuff.
it had all the bits, right? What other design flares do we want to have on this thing? We want it to look cool as
A
well as
racing
function.
stripe for sure.
Yeah, okay. So just the one racing stripe, or are we having like many racing stripes to the
One
point where
racing
you
stripe.
look like Jack Skellington with just one racing stripe? Okay, cool.
It has to have like the Guy Fieri flames.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Are we having like skins?
Here's what it is. Okay, guys. It's retro, so it's got to look the part. It's Game Boy Color, so we're talking the hard Nintendo gray.
Yeah, okay.
And we're talking, you know, a splash of like that garbagey 90s purple with the buttons and whatnot. But it's got to look like a kid's, you know, it's got to have a kid's flair to it. So the Guy Fieri freaking flames, that's a sticker that's just has to be thrown up to the side.
And it's already curling at the edges.
The racing stripe, that's a marker. Somebody just...
I was going to say, too, some part of it could be another LED screen or something like that, so that, like, the back of it, you can customize it by
And you got to have two screens because you can play DS games, dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you can just wheel the backpack in front of you, and you have the one screen, and then you have the other one on the backpack.
Oh,
so the thing is basically just a Game Boy you put on your back.
Sorry, I need to write down this.
It looks like it looks like the freaking Game Boy kiosk.
But on your back.
Oh,
I want to know how different the images in all of our brains are right now, because I just want to know.
It would be interesting if we all drew a console now, based on what you said. But I don't want to put us all through that.
No, that's so much work, and I'm so bad at drawing.
Yeah. But I think this is going to be like, from the notes I've already got and the notes I'm going to get when I obviously have to re-listen to this to understand what the hell we were talking about. This is going to be a piece of hardware to rock the ages. Wow, I think we've succeeded in our goal. So I just realized I made a typo. Instead of Needs grips, I've written Ned grips, which is pretty
Ned Flanders. They look like Ned Flanders.
Oh my god, they need to have like the assassins, the shoes that Ned Flanders has. They need to have that sort of like the stripe the red stripe or the yellow stripe going down it. That'd be sick. What's the name of our console, guys?
Oh,
Bitch Boy.
Big Billy.
Bitch Boy.
Big Billy.
Big Billy.
Or Martha.
BBBB, the Big Billy Bitch Boy.
Nice, Big Billy Bitch Boy.
Nice.
4K, and then put a 4K at the end.
Big Billy Bitch Boy Pro.
HDR 10.
New Big Billy Bitch
But
Boy.
TM somewhere between some of the name things.
Yeah,
that's just part of the name.
That's another thing. The actual backpack part of the console itself also has to have a sticker for 4K, 120 hertz, a Blu-ray player. It has to have all of those stickers on
also like the Xbox Series X optimized, PlayStation
optimized,
Pro ready,
optimized for BBBB.
One of those big diamond USK stickers they have in Germany that says the age rating that takes up the entire like.
That too. It's necessary if we want to be international with this thing.
Luckily we didn't get really too unrealistic with this. At least, like, it's pretty much.
I think this could be a real console.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a great place to wrap it up because I think we've succeeded in our goal of making the perfect games console. Right? It plays all the games you want it to play. It has all the hardware we need it to do. It's not too heavy. I mean, it's very heavy, but it's like it's heavy in a way that you can.
It's worth its weight, dude.
Exactly.
It's not too heavy unless you're a pussy.
Exactly. Oh, you need the wheels, do you? No, you need the wheels. Sad for you. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on to this shit heap of a podcast. I have really enjoyed it. I'm probably going to. I mean, we're all probably after this going to immediately use the toilet because sometimes we shit always together. Thanks, guys, and I will see you again another time. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.